it's so easy to assume that there is a secret sauce to anything that you're building. This is probably particularly related for anybody that is doing anything that's entrepreneurial, innovative, requires leadership, any of those kind of things. And that's broadly defined. And I think we, the stuff that we see on social media, the stuff that is told in business schools, any number of different situations, this sort of popular culture version of things, is that it was just one little sort of simple trick and everything changed. The thing was and everything was very easy, and, it all came together. And the truth is like that never works, right? Like if anybody is to say that, I'm almost going to be like, no, that's not the story of what everybody goes through. The story of what everybody goes through is a sense of like loneliness, a sense of the only reason you're doing this is because nobody else is doing it, is a sense of, well, I really care about other people, or I care about something that I think is wrong in this world. We need to fix this thing. And man, nobody is going to believe me when I do this. There is no right answer. It's a sense of just complete aimlessness. It's a sense of, uncertainty, but you end up working at it and keep going. I want to give you an example of this. As I was just punching social media is just zoning out, as one does. And there was this kid that was saying, oh, I just went onto LinkedIn and I just sorted based on X number of different characteristics and everything came together and it was so easy to actually get this thing. And they were talking about funding, right? Getting funding for their new venture. And, what they don't show is, or it doesn't say, is the 25 other things that they tried and didn't work. The number of rejections that they got, the feelings of, oh, this is really dumb. The terrible emails that you get in response, like all of those particular things. And it just, comes across as like this really easy process. But if anybody's ever built anything, it's getting up and doing it every day. One little step, knowing that everybody else is going to think this is crazy, and not knowing or not having enough time, realizing that, man, this is just not working out, but I get back up and I try and I go. And that's the story with the Reciprocity Project is been like one of these journeys is like, how do you build something so the central problem is this, right? Like you've got PhDs and academics and researchers around the world that generally don't feel good, right? Like that's the general story. I just want you to Google, just go on that and just like type PhD, go into the news. You'll see every third news article saying that there's not enough jobs, or, people feeling really depressed, or, just look up PhD funnies and you'll get a lot of dark humor. It's very much dark humor that you would see in the military, for example. And the story is, what I want to do is, can I use available tools? Can I be the person that sort of changes this? Can I build a platform so that we can have fun, that, make an incremental improvement on, just in general, where everybody feels fun and excited? And I don't know how to do this. This is like stupid, right? Like I think of this as like, this is really dumb. And I tell people and they think it's really dumb, you get those looks, but I get back up and I do it again, or I don't know how to do this. I don't know where money is going to come from other than like me and my wife funding this, right? Like, and even then, my wife gives me so many looks, right? Like, what are you doing? And I'm like, what am I doing, right? The whole process, when you build anything, is very much like that. And, I could be sitting watching TV. There's a football game that's on. I'm not especially interested in football, but, I could be doing that. That could be my thing. And instead, I'm doing this. I'm sitting here and, I wanted to do a podcast so that you can hear it. So I go for a walk. And, it's half addiction, half like, man, I got to do this. I need to put in the time. I need to put in the effort. Who else is going to do this? And that's a story with all innovative things. And the thing is I don't have time. And that's the thing. I don't have time to do development and all these kind of things that people talk about. I've got family and kids and, I'm barbecuing and, all this sort of basic stuff that you do in life. I don't have time for that on top. So what do I know? How do I, where's my biggest impact that I'm going to be is telling stories and being here for you in this sort of way so you can follow along, and maybe somebody someplace around the world will bump into this and they'll want to participate in some sort of way, right? I wish that there was easier ways. I wish these sort of secret things pop up, but it doesn't happen. That's not the story that ever happens with any of this stuff. I want you to see somebody who's actually built something from nothing. It's all of these moments where you just try. And, the best that I could do is sit down and program every once in a while if I have the chance, write some blog posts or whatever, like just do everything, just make time, fill in time, all those really simple, basic things that I think that story is never told. And it's not about, these sort of quick wins and the tricks and all of that stuff. That's not at all what happens. That's not real life. The real life is, all right, I got to get up and I got to do this and I got to build it. And it's slow and steady and tedious and boring and all of those things. And it's years and years and years of doing it, regardless of who's paying attention, any of those things. I just want you to understand this. If you're doing anything like this, you're totally on the normal path. And these sort of tidbit stories that you hear, they're not true. That's not what real life is with doing anything like this. I want you to look around real people and doing real things and look at how they did something. It was years. Like people that you actually know, that you can name off and say, oh, that's my parents' friend, or, that is somebody that I know, like physically know. And you look to see how they did anything. It was slow and steady, boring, tedious, all of those things, being completely baffled in how to do things, but doing it anyways, and repeatedly doing that until it actually works. And that's it. There's no magic. There's nothing like that. I wish there was. God, I wish there was. But there's not. It's one step at a time, doing things because it's the right thing, and repeatedly doing it as many times as you possibly can for as long as you possibly can. And that's it. That's the story. Take care and have a wonderful day.